Hi everyone, I am back today with my very last page for the Studio Calico Sugar Rush kit that I have been working on for the last few months. I promise I will see if I can't get a whole bunch of the pages that I did that don't have a process video together and do a layout share soon. I am down to probably just scraps that were left after doing this page. This is the last 12 by 12 piece of paper I had. It's a little bit fast here in the first few minutes just because I don't think it was anything pertinent. I did a lot of stamping for this page. I did a lot of fidgeting. It took me over an hour to finish just because I kept backtracking with doing certain steps, so bear with the speed here. These chipboard pieces are from, or the chipboard alphas are from Basic Gray. They're the like old chocolate chip uh, little, they come in a pack with a whole bunch of different letters. I have them in mostly every single color, and I felt like I needed to use them since I've been relying on my thickers too much lately. So I am just securing that with some glue dots because the adhesive is probably like 4 or 5 years old and it's definitely not going to hold up in my album. I go to staple this acetate um, tag or little flag here, and because it's going through the background paper and the photo and the white cardstock and then another pattern paper, it didn't go through. It didn't mess up the tag itself, and I just went ahead and I picked up the back scrap piece of paper in order to staple it instead of just stapling it all through like 4 layers. So I am heat embossing this stamp by Ali Edwards. It's an older stamp back when she partnered with, what is it, Technique Tuesday. And I am heat embossing it with one of those uh, embossing powders that I bought from the Scrapbook Expo a few months ago. It's in the Caribbean color. It's kind of like a turquoise, like sandy color. I love it. I heat embossed it on some vellum. However, it, I love this color in embossing powder itself. However, I probably should have just done a solid color, whether it had been in white or gold. You can barely see what the stamp says. It says daily life if it was too quick. I was able to staple that all the way through since it was just one layer of paper. And then I am going to stamp with a couple of more different Ali Edwards stamps from Technique Tuesday. I used 2 sets. One was I don't even know if these have names. The Kids Are Cool set, and the Kids Are Cool, and it's in the Details set by Ali Edwards. And like I said, this is super old. Um, I want to say maybe 5 years ago. Pulling out all the old stuff just to finish the last couple of pages. I smudged the black ink there a little bit on the page, and I am absolutely okay with it. I covered it up with some journaling using my typewriter. I had actually stamped the the title or the little thing there a couple of different times. I was thinking about doing it in different colors and then decided just the black would be fine. And then I'm going to use these October Afternoon Alphas that came in the kit. As you can see, I didn't use them very much. I used them mostly for like my kids' initials and their age. However, it'll just go back into my alpha stash now that I am done with working on this kit. It took me a while to space out the individual alphas all together, so I went ahead and I cut that out since it wasn't anything you guys needed to see, just because it's just me fumbling and not being happy with just the littlest thing. So it's going to cut away here in a second, and then I am going to peel all of this off because I am going to add my journaling with my typewriter. And wouldn't you know, I actually had to take off everything in order to get this done. So I initially was just going to have it printed on my computer, and then my computer decided to not work. So I had to pull out my typewriter, and as you can see, the first couple of lines are a little bit off. I always forget to double check the spacing, whether it is 1 or 1.5 or 2 spaces, and it initially did 2, and I was like, oh, I don't want that. Ah. So I reconstructed the page, just kind of took everything off, which is fine. I didn't rip anything, and it didn't really crinkle anything either, so that was good. I'm going to stamp the date on the bottom underneath the journaling with some black ink from Jenny Bolin with my Becky Higgins stamp. It's my go-to date stamp, even though it is out of date. However, I've been scrapping pictures from 2015 and below that, so not a big deal. Hopefully need to go out and see if she made another one for the next like 10 years or so. I am adding some glue dots to the back of this vellum. It's kind of sticking up a little bit too much since I heat embossed it, and it's kind of warped to like fold into itself. So I added some more of those wood veneer stars that I used in my last page. I think I've used them in my last 3 pages. I have a whole bunch of them, and I love them. I think they add just like the littlest touch. Along with sequins, I add probably 2 or 3 different sequins, and it's just a light, like matte gold stars, but I guess I'm doing that after. I glued down this paper clip heart that was just on my desk. Usually if I pull out embellishments that I don't end up using on a page, I put it towards the top of my desk, and eventually it'll make it on a page. And then when it gets too much clutter on my desk, I tend to put it back in my stash. But if it was just one thing, I like to leave it out because the chances of getting it there or getting it on a page is really good if I get to see it. This is a craft what is it called? A negative of one of the packs of embellishments that came in the Sugar Rush kit. As you can see, it's an ampersand. And it felt really plain to me, so I am going to fancy it up a little bit. And it took me a minute to figure out what it was exactly that I wanted to do. I couldn't get my white gel pen to work because I really wanted to do some stitching lines. I added them in gold, but you can't really see them. Looking at it now, I can even see them on the page. So what I'm going to do is use the Versamark ink that was still on my desk, and I am going to stamp sweet several times and along the little craft tag here, or craft, like, I don't know, embellishment, just so it kind of gives it a little bit more than just the plain craft. And I like it. It's kind of a two-tone look to it. And you can tell that the word is actually sweet. I cover up a couple of the places on my page just so that it doesn't get onto my photo and doesn't get onto the background paper. So I do that a couple of times, and then it's done. And I love how it turned out. Like I said, it adds just a little bit of texture to that little plain card. So, and now I'm adding those sequins. They are, like I said, a matte gold, and I only add 3 of them, kind of in the, oh no, I add 4, sorry, in the star clusters that are already on the page. So, and I want to say that is it for this one. I'm really struggling with getting some pages done, so bear with me. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.